Hello, my friends. Jeff, Tax Rescue CPA. Idaho Parental Choice Tax Credit. This credit is brand new in Idaho. In fact, it was signed into law today by the governor. Now, what is it? Well, it's the state's first ever school choice program. It provides a tax credit or reimbursement for eligible non-public school expenses. Now, the maximum reimbursement per calendar year is $5,000 per child, and this jumps to $7,500 for special needs students. Eligibility requirements. To qualify for the reimbursement, families must have documented educational expenses. It's not a flat payment to all students who are outside of the public school system. The expenses must be verified in order to receive the credit. Now, qualified schools. The program is not limited to accredited schools, but having said that, the student's progress must be tracked. There must be some reporting or tracking of the student's progress. Accordingly, the program that the student is involved in or the tracking of this progress must include core subjects of English language arts, mathematics, science, and social studies. Now, the particular details of this, of how much they have to have per year, hasn't been, stated, but that wording is in the bill and in the law that is now passed. So, what about program funding and availability? Well, the program is capped at $50 million a year, which, if you think about this equates to 10,000 students at the maximum rate of $5,000. However, estimates, if you think about, okay, how many students are there? Well, there's some estimates out there that there are over 16,000 private school students in Idaho, and this number came from a couple years ago, so I'm sure it's different now. It's probably more. But one thing to keep in mind is that the number of families that will qualify for this credit is, because of the income limits, is uncertain. So we're not quite sure how many families are going to qualify because of these income limits. All right, so who administers the program? The program is going to be run or administered by the Idaho State Tax Commission. Right, think income taxes. They're going to oversee this program. So the primary method, of course, they're going to use for distribution of this money is going to be through your tax return. Some suggest there's a possibility of advance credit at this point, but I don't have any details on that I'm sure of that I can share with you at this moment. Now, understand that the effective date of this program goes back to January 1, 2025. So keep that in mind with tracking. Now, what should you do at this point? If your child is enrolled in a non-public school, or in fact isn't enrolled in a public school, and you're incurring educational expenses, start tracking those expenses immediately. Go back to January 1, track those expenses. Retain the receipts and the records for any eligible expenses paid in 2025, okay? And additionally, stay informed about the claims process. There hasn't been a lot of guidance on this yet because it just got signed. But the program has wording in it of first come, first serve, okay? Remember that 10,000 student number? After that, there's no more funding. So if you're trying to get reimbursed and the 50 million's maxed out, nothing. It's not going to happen. So early application is critical for this program. Now, what expenses qualify for reimbursement? So here we're talking about, what comes to mind: private school tuition, tutoring services, curriculum costs, and other private education expenses. There's even wording in the bill about activities that enrich a student, think museums and field trips, these kind of things. So this is even more essential for homeschooling families because you're going to be looking at curriculum and books expenses and then these other activities. You can't claim an expense for paying the parent as a teacher. So the expenses that are going to fall under this $5,000 limit are going to be probably smaller than what tuition would be. So you're going to have to think about and work on these details to make sure you claim as much as possible for reimbursement. Okay, so additional information for homeschooling families, and this has been kind of an issue with this bill. In Idaho, there is not a lot, none, required for homeschooling reporting. And the concern is hey, is you're going to make homeschooling accountable for reporting requirements by passing this bill. Well, yes and no, because homeschoolers are not required to participate in this program. You don't have to claim the credit if you're a homeschooler and don't want to and to report anything. You can continue to do homeschooling on your own and keep the details of that homeschooling to yourself. However, if you choose to claim the credit, there are going to be some reporting requirements as part of the program. So who qualifies? So this goes back to how many students, how many families are going to be eligible in Idaho between those that don't attend public schools and the income limit. So the income limit is 300% of the federal poverty level. So the income of the family must be below that level. So an example of this is a family of 4. Currently, that level is $93,600. And this changes, of course, with the number of children or members of the family. And this is an easy number to find online. Just Google 300% federal poverty level. You'll find all kinds of charts with however many children you have to figure out what your income level is for your family. So if you have children that are in private school or homeschooled or another non-public educational system or school or setting, I encourage you to take some time now and figure out what is going on with this new opportunity, what you need to keep track of, and how to claim this credit. Because awareness is the key, ensuring that no child is left behind on this available opportunity. Stay tuned for updates as details come out about this program and how to take advantage of it. Thanks for watching.